What's up? How's it going? How's it going? Amazing. Happy to be back. And in this 5 topic series, I'm gonna talk about a new program that I'm about to, just launch, and it's called Connection. Connection is about this constant problem that I'm having. People have, they're coming up to me and they're telling me like, oh, I have this problem around connecting with people. Whether it's, corporate jobs or I have to put this up. Like whether it's like corporate job or whether it's like, having friendships, friends and stuff like that, right? Or even dating life, it's just thing about how can you connect to yourself? Because you need to start connecting within yourself in order to connect with other people. Otherwise you're doomed, otherwise I said it as late as yesterday. It's like you're having a big bag of rot that you carry on top of your back, right? And then you haven't really worked with that. And that big bag of rot is just all the trauma that you have. And then you go up and talk to people because you haven't worked on yourself. You haven't connected with yourself because you have all this shit bag, all this rot. And then you go up to other people and then naturally you will get a lot of rejection, and then the people that you end up with are people who has the equal amount of rot or even more rot, right? Because at the end of the day you attract who you are. That's why I love people. That's why people and things are just number one for me, because it's a life navigator on where you are in your spiritual growth and your spiritual journey. That is what it's really about, right? So it's also like I remember at one point, this is a small anecdote. I was visiting this Syrian barber, and then he told me this Syrian proverb, Arabic proverb around that. Let me meet your friends. I don't need to know you. Let me meet your friends, and then I know who you are. Amazing, right? I was flabbergasted when he told me this story. I was like, oh, that's right, But I also got triggered because I didn't have the best friends back then. But anyway, so I'm doing this coaching program, which is called Connection, and it's really about unraveling and exposing all the things that stops you from connecting with people, all these blocks of trauma and past pain and stuff like that that keeps you at bay instead of keeps you, keep you striving, keep you being more fulfilled and more happy and more at ease, So that is what it's all about, right? So, and in this 5-week program, each week we meet once a week for 60 minutes, around 60 minutes, maybe a little bit more. I'm a bit generous with my time because I want people to really understand this. So 5-week program, we meet once a week, 60 minutes per time. And in each of those weeks, there's a different topic. So for example, in the first week, week number 1, we talk about shame, shame of putting yourself out there. And that is also what we're going to talk about now, according to the program. And then is rejection. Why is it that people, they don't, why is it that it hurts to getting rejected? Do you really want to have the rejection stop you from going out there and talk to people, right? And then it's people pleasing, always being this pleaser, always listening to the heart, not really confronting other people. And then you have the inner critic, like this worm tongue, that says that you're not good enough, why you bother, blah, 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 blah. And then finally, it's judgment, it's a huge one too, not putting yourself out there because you're afraid that people will judge you, right? So you rather just want to stay in your shadows and don't say shit, right? Don't say anything. So that is that 5-week program. And what is the cost? It's 300 euros right now, 300 euros. And that is a really, really good price because first of all, you end up in a community, right? The community of these max 5 people that are goal-getters, ambitious 5 people, and you can connect with them, you can chat with them, you can discuss with them. We will make our own group where people can, again, connect with each other, right? So that is one of the perks. The other perk is that discussion throughout these 60 minutes, and you can learn from other people. You're not alone. You can learn from all these other people. You'll get a free slide. The slides that I'm sharing, you'll get it for free. It's included, so to say. We will do a meditation all together and talk about the meditation, talk about the findings. So it's really, really value packed. This seminar or group coaching group coaching seminar, right? So yeah, keep an eye out for it, and if you have any questions related to that seminar, just don't hesitate to write me, because I'm gonna be your host. So yeah, $300, 5-week course, once a week we meet, so it's 5 sessions with maximum of 5 participants, me plus 5 people. All right, so now we're diving into shame. Like shame is like the first thing that we are gonna talk about, which is also the first week. Week number 1 is around shame. Shame of putting yourself out there. Like, because most people that I meet, when they come to me and like, oh, I have big problems on extending my network, especially foreigners, they feel they're not good enough. That is the thing. They feel they're doing something wrong as well. Like wrong on going out there, and it's wrong for them to express themselves, wrong for them to reach out to people, wrong for them to hang out with people, right? And that is a shame in itself. That's a pity, right? But why? Where does this stem from? Like, if I have to take a personal example, for me, I got told that I should just shut up and listen, every single time, where since I was like 5-6 years old, and I was trying to express myself, and especially when I were around those like 10, 11, 12, around the puberty age, I could remember I told my father, hey, can we do this way? Can we do it that way? Can I enjoy watching TV? And then he just started to scream at me, yell at me, and force me to work in the garden, where a normal father would just say, hey, listen son, like I don't like that you're watching TV, can you please come and help me? We need to do this work because blah 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 blah, then the house will look pretty, and we will have a great time together, like we will enjoy the beauty of the house that we are in, right? We need to keep the garden, we need to mow the lawn, because then it looks neat and nice and cute, like that is what we want, right? Everything looks fine when it's cleaned up, and yeah, but my father was like nothing, no such explanation, just shut up, obey and listen. That is how my father was, like nothing, and sometimes like physical abuse as well, like if he didn't do it, he will just punish us, with these sticks that he found in these small forest gardening areas that we have in our city in Denmark. So yeah, super traumatized by that. So what did this lead me to do, right? So when the thing is that when you are in your childhood and you want to express yourself, like children, most children want to express themselves, they want to hop around, they want to like, everything is still new, like there's no blockages, there's no egoic mind stopping them. But again, if you got told, shut up, listen, blah, 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 then as a child, this is how it works, right? I told you yesterday, this is how it works. It is like the young Jen or the young you will express itself, right? Like father says, we should mow the lawn. Let's take that example. And then you are like, can we mow the lawn this way? You're expressing yourself. Can we mow it this way? Can we mow it that way? Hey, can we do it tomorrow? Then I will work twice as hard. Or why is it that I need to do that? You're expressing yourself. You're questioning as well. Like you're questioning the job, the chores that you have gotten, right? The chore, in this case, to mow the lawn. And then you just met with anger and aggressiveness. That is what you met with, really, really messed up. And then, you express yourself, you got told to shut up. And in my case, my father took it as an attack as well. Like every time I wanted to express myself, he took it as a personal attack that he's not good enough, And every time I expressed a question, he would be like, oh, don't you think that I know what I do? Like, am I that bad of a father? So he was super traumatized by his own father, because my grandfather was perhaps, seemingly, it seems like he was more strict than my own father, right? So anyway, so you express yourself as a child, and then your father yells at you. You express yourself, father yells at you. You conclude it's wrong to express yourself. This is key. I better just shut up. I will just suppress it. It's wrong to express myself. So every time I have an urge of expressing myself, I will be met with this notion that is wrong. It's shameful to express yourself, And then you don't even think about it. Then it just, maybe fires so quick in your mind that you want to express yourself, but your conscious mind doesn't register it. So because it got suppressed because it's wrong, right? So that is repressed shame, that you feel it wrong to express yourself, right? So yeah, but also like, for example, my sister experienced that every time she laughed, because she was a very joyous girl, like she would love to laugh and very emotional, right? Then my dad would scream at her and like, stop laughing. It would just irritate him in a way that I haven't seen or experienced other people being irritated. Like, how can a laugh irritate you? Maybe, he just triggered him a lot, and it was like, wow. And I was freezing because I was already traumatized. But then now I'm thinking, after going into spirituality and meditation and stuff like that, wow, why? How you could have said it another way, right? But anyways, that is going through the shame, and then we need to like be aware of the shame and like connect to the old pattern about, okay, like it's wrong to express ourselves, like you can go and rediscover all the times that you got told to shut up, like, every time you were expressing yourself or laughing in my sister's example, like go there and then really connect with this inner child, this child that has been told to shut up, and let it know, hey, it's all right, you can express yourself, you need to express yourself, right? So then you start to wake up and you see these patterns, you see it all, right? So how can you work with this on a meditative level? And I already told you can do the classic inner child work, which is basically that you breathe in and breathe out. So you close your eyes, you breathe in and breathe out, breathe in and breathe out, and then you slowly melt down. And this time you are the adult, you are the awakened version of yourself. You're so awakened, you're so much in love and care and nurture, and you want to heal this child, because you don't want to be in a state where you cannot express yourself, because those are the mere consequence. Like, so every time in your adult, like, let's say that you have a girlfriend and she, I don't know, it doesn't treat you in the right way, like she yells at you, scoffs at you, or you have a boss who does the same, then instead of being freezing, instead of suppressing yourself, automatically you can actually be aware, like, okay, I can express myself, let me express myself, So yeah, and then anyways, you are breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, you're melting down to this awareness, and then you see this inner child that is, in what state it is, I don't know, like sometimes it's hidden away, sometimes it's just there, some other times it just belongs to you. Depends on how far you are in your healing process. For example, with me, when I did inner child healing like a couple of days ago, my child was just like, it just wanted me, because I've done it a million times, right? And I coached people in it, and written a lot of writings about the inner child, so I know, so yeah, I've done a lot of the work. So my child was like just clinging to me, so I really needed love, but it cannot be that easy all the time. Sometimes it's just hidden, it doesn't want to talk to you, and then you can nurture it and care for it and hold it, and then tell it like, hey, I validate what you are saying, with me you have space to express yourself, there's no shame, you're not doing anything wrong. And then you hug it, and then everything dissolves into love. You are love at this very part. You breathe in, breathe out, and then you just let go. So that's it, that's how you do it, So that's my small contribution to this shame. And in this program that I just told you about, that you find here, you can always, I will speak more about it there. Of course, we're gonna go much more in depth. And there'll be some homeworks as well, some questions and stuff like that, right? Definitely questions, that I can say for sure. And then some discussions back and forth and stuff like that. But it starts, in 1.5 months. So yeah, around 1.5 months, I guess. Yeah, then it starts. So yeah, you can see through the link, and then you can write me, we can have a talk, I can screen you and see, okay, are you a good fit for it, you know. And while I'm having this initial call with you, you can also tell me about, you know, your problems, you know, a nice brief discussion. And yeah, man, like I hope to see you. Otherwise, I see you in the next upcoming video. So all the best, you know, bliss.